Last spot in next month's finals at stake here. And I don't really know. I mean, MYINSANITY has played really well today, and we're unlucky. They made a mistake. They missed getting one extra bail in, or it would be Herman sitting here playing MANITOU right now. So based off of that performance, I'd say MYINSANITY are favorites, but you never know. MANITOU could pull out a surprise here.
And Lars has been beaten to the New Holland. Meanwhile, MYINSANITY have managed to get a second ideal. And look at this. There's a fight going on for the John Deere baler, and they are neck and neck. Who's going to connect it up? Jannis has connected it up. Very well played by Mylan. And baler streak.
Ooh. Okay.
One more baler. Is this going to be a rush?
MANITOU are going to get to this one, it looks like. And
MANITOU are going to get the case
precious
baler.
seconds wasted, though, because they had to go all the way back up the hill. But at least they're still... Imagine if it had come to the last match and we had a rush there. That would have been insane. Oh, man. Good bit of play by MYINSANITY, though. Some good disruption. Some very good disruption early on.
So, yeah, they are running... so the case baler has a slightly lower work speed, but only requires 3,600 litres per bale, whereas the John Deere that is being run by MYINSANITY has a 24 kilometre per hour work speed and a 3,800 requirement per bale. And look at this!
Like a very late first bale for both teams here. It's like, so MANITOU...
Both teams coming in at roughly the same time.
Yeah, MYINSANITY disrupted MANITOU, but they spent so much time going for balers to disrupt them that they also slowed themselves down and getting the bale there. So it really didn't slow MANITOU down as much as I thought it was going to.
And MANITOU have dropped the baler to go and grab this. And MYINSANITY doing the same thing. So MYINSANITY running slightly behind MANITOU now, despite having forced MANITOU to go a further distance to get that baler. The difference, though, is that MYINSANITY has two bales, a two-bale advantage over MANITOU right now.
All right,
and the first drop is spawned.
There you go. Speed up and bale drop.
And speed up. I think if either team goes for this, they will go for speed up. And in fact, yeah.
Let's see. Homer is going to go for speed up. Definitely looks like. Here comes someone from MANITOU. And good call, Alex. Both teams going for speed up, a 20% boost in speed, but since they both got it, not really an advantage for either team.
That is actually quite a significant speed up, though. 20%. I think we'll see teams going for things slightly earlier because of that. For example, I think at the 8-minute mark, combines will be in position well before that 8-minute drop happens.
Now, it was MYINSANITY earlier, wasn't it, that kept delivering grain like early on here?
Yeah.
And it was against Herman, and they almost came out victorious.
MANITOU are doing the same.
Yeah, they're going to just deliver it. Let's see now what MYINSANITY does. Are they going to deliver all of theirs?
MYINSANITY are running... They're running two ideals. I don't understand this. They're running two ideals. which can't fit in that single bit, and they're not doing the later drop, knowing that it's possible that grain boost might appear.
Yep, and we're 2 minutes away from it potentially showing up as well, so it could very easily be a mistake from both teams, but there's not really an advantage to be had here because both teams have evened up the multiplier and they're close enough in grain at the moment that by the time the 8-minute mark rolls around, they're both only going to have, 30,000 liters worth of grain for the cart, and it's just, I just don't understand it really, why you wouldn't just wait for that multiplier. We've seen it pay off for teams. Having to look at Jan going back to this Valtra. Is there a reason it's a 3-person team and not 4, says Game Bunny? I think that 3 is the perfect amount because while like you kind of have to float around depending on what point of the round you're in, if there was 4, one person would be left with nothing to do for the majority of a round. Like one harvesting, one baling, one kind of floating around between different jobs and or delivering grain. Hey, Prestige, put your money where your mouth is and form an official team if you want.
The interesting thing now will be to see how these two balers square up against each other. Already we're seeing a closing in this gap of the deficit.
Right.
Yeah, and look at that. That timing between those bales changing is definitely decreasing from that case.
That drop's going to be perfect for Dennis. Bridges raised and herbicide.
Bridges raised.
MYINSANITY are right behind him.
Though.
Yeah. Lars, I thought was going for one, but he's actually hopping in the other ideal.
Yeah. Oh, Bridges raised has been picked up by Lars, by Jan. Jan picked that up.
Dennis now should go for it as well, really.
They appear to be ignoring it.
He's emptying grain for now. He's got plenty of time. He's close enough.
And there he goes.
There it is. Hey, Southern Trucker, what's going on? So this is the last matchup of the weekend. One spot in next month's quarterfinals. A couple weeks away on December 5th is the planned date for that event. One more spot in the final 8 remains. The winner of this will take it. It's a best of 3. This is the first of 3. So we have at least one more to come up after this. 2.7 to 1.3 multiplier advantage for MYINSANITY at the moment. If they can get some bales in real quick and score them, but it's too late because there's MANITOU ready to even things back up.
This is very much going to be a bale for bale game. Not much either team can do about that at the moment. Does kind of depend what the super drop is at the 4-minute mark. But we will see what that holds.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, Spencer. 4 people around the barn area would be absolute chaos for sure.
I think you'd also end up seeing more
He's lost
another words left in my mind. Yeah.
More disconnects? More technical breaks? That's
no,
what
no,
I was
no.
thinking.
I was thinking more when a team gets all the balers. Which, why have I lost that word?
Oh, a rush? Yeah.
Rush. That's the word I'm looking for. I think you'd see more rushes as well. And we haven't seen many rushes, if any. I don't think in season 4.
Yeah.
Season 3.
Yeah,
4 hasn't
season
happened yet.
3, I've not seen a single one in my time doing commentary for sure. From my understanding, it used to be a bit easier and happened more frequently. Was it that you couldn't reserve a harvester or baler previously? Is that what the difference
so
is?
you used to not be able to reserve a harvester or a baler. I'm
Yeah,
surprised we've come as close as we have to 2 of them this weekend, actually.
Yeah, well, a lot of teams choose to not reserve a baler, so the potential is still there when that happens, but it is very difficult.
We had a harvester rush yesterday that was only averted because the team had reserved a harvester.
Yeah, that's the closest we've come then, but I can't remember the last time I didn't see a team reserve a combine.
Yeah. It's got to the point where the teams rely on having that reserved combine. And we have points in for Manitou.
Virtual Farmer is
21
currently
to 23
desynced.
bales.
He'll catch up to himself surely. Well done, Falcon. Oh, man.
It happens. Crazy tool for 30 seconds.
Well,
this actually would be useful for both teams at the moment. Because the bales are quite even and they're trying to... and they're having to go bale for bale.
MYINSANITY has 2 more bales outstanding, but they trail 229 to 257. That would be enough to close that difference.
Due to Homer putting stuff in.
So 3 minutes and some change to go to decide who wins the first one, and it'll be 1 win away from the quarterfinals.
This is so close.
Homer has been really solid with stacking today. He's been doing a fantastic job. Yeah, no, the only one harvester in that round was definitely tough. It was pretty much back against the wall at that point.
And it did happen to Lindner, and thankfully Lindner do have a strategy.
Yeah,
but it led to the most insane standoff we've ever seen in the FSL.
It was insane. That was Lindner against Vulture, wasn't it? Last night in Group B, or last night. It was like yesterday morning for me. Feels like last night. But yeah, that was a crazy standoff. Felt like we were watching like a Wild West movie. We had high noon standoff.
Who is gonna blink first?
Yeah.
And if Vulture had got it wrong at all, then Lindner would have got a huge number of points. Vulture would have gone out, and it would have been the most amazing comeback we've ever seen.
Right. Yeah, it would have. MYINSANITY are looking pretty good at the moment. Couple extra bales now, 1 extra bale for Manitou, so there's not enough there to make this ground up. So MYINSANITY with 1:25 left, as long as they get all their bales in, and that's Manitou we're looking at now with a lot more bales at the barn. MYINSANITY needs to get theirs in, and soon. We've seen MYINSANITY play really well today, but not getting bales in early enough has cost them, and that's why they're not already in the quarterfinals.
And yeah, MYINSANITY pulling away. 55 seconds
They did
left.
have bales in. Good. I thought we saw a shot of them a bit ago, and they didn't. But it must have just been the camera angle, because here is the rest of their bales now at the barn. So they have the bales there to win this first game.
Yep, they got 40 seconds to get every single bale they have on this chin. And it's 4 bales to 4. Manitou do not have the bales to win this.
There's been an oops as well for Manitou somewhere. I think someone may have fallen into the moat or something.
And here we go. Last 2 bales for Manitou. They don't have time to get these in. And look at that. MYINSANITY is BB going up there. He is. He doesn't need to. This is going to MYINSANITY this first game. And
Wow, well
wonderful
done.
play from them.
MYINSANITY have been really strong. It's just been their own errors that has forced them to go the hard route to the quarterfinals. So maybe Manitou will get a little bit of luck using their own team's equipment here with their backs against the wall. A spot in the quarterfinals at stake here. Lose and Manitou's season 3 ends here. Win and they force a third game in the best of 3. And here we go. Jan has crashed into the starting gate and flipped his tractor. So not a good start for MYINSANITY here. Homer just
has got the John Deere.
Homer just getting there. Lars now looks like he's going to go for the New Holland. Does indeed. ProdaxCH has the Kuhn baler, so they went with that one instead of the Fent. The Fent is that? No, it's the John Deere sitting there.
The Fent
Someone from MYINSANITY is getting
there.
the New Holland. MYINSANITY has gone with the New Holland. No one's gone with the Fent.
Now there's 4 pods and 5 balers. Did the Fent baler not materialize?
Ooh, very well could be.
Because that does happen.
Yeah, so MYINSANITY's gone with the New Holland and Manitou with the Kuhn baler.
Yeah, so the 4 balers that materialized were the Case, the New Holland, the John Deere, and the Kuhn. So in a real twist, it didn't need to be banned. It just hasn't appeared. 126 point first bale for Manitou.
Oh, you had to unfold it there, or fold it back up, rather.
No, he's not stuck. There we go.
Now Jan coming in with the drive-by, 114, so 12-point lead for Manitou. Good start for Manitou, but a long way to go to secure a third spot or a third game here. I'm not sure what to expect. It could come down, obviously, as it can, to the drops. But it's going to be interesting because now, like, MYINSANITY is dealing with the New Holland baler, Manitou with the Kuhn baler, so it might be in the benefit of Manitou to get more bales pressed throughout this round. Both teams last round chose to deliver grain before the 8th minute mark.
So yeah, again, that New Holland baler takes 3,800 litres to make a bale, but it goes at 22 kilometers per hour. Whereas that Kuhn baler takes 3,600 litres to press a bale and goes at 20 kilometers per hour. I think these 2 balers are fairly well matched, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not as good as the Fent, for sure, the Kuhn.
No. I think you're going to end... I think what it's going to end up finding is that the New Holland uses more straw, and that's basically it. I think we'll get a similar number of bales out, though, from the time.
Speed limit and bale drop are the 12th minute drops. So I want to see one of these teams, especially Manitou, might want to consider gambling here that grain multiplier will show up in the 8th minute and waiting to deliver their grain until after that point.
I think that is a good gamble. I do...
With backs against the wall, you kind of have to gamble. You can't. They can't go in the same way it went last time, or they're out.
And you've actually got nothing to lose doing that. Lars is heading out there in the combine to grab speed limits. Oh no, he missed it. There we go. Slow his opponents down. 13 seconds left, and Homer has done the same to Manitou. Oh no, for Manitou to MYINSANITY. Current bale advantage is to Manitou. MYINSANITY is heading to the bale drop point, the sell point now. Well, it has been a long day. MYINSANITY is unloading their grain.
I think Manitou might be waiting here. They dumped a tiny little bit so that they can come with the harvesters and just start unloading immediately. But they are going to wait. They're going to gamble. If that 8th minute mark is a grain multiplier, it's advantage Manitou here with their backs against the wall. We've had a question in chat from Ace Drew Hustle on Twitch. How does this work? I'm new to FS. This is the Farming Simulator League, Farming Simulator's official esport. And there's a tutorial video link in chat that I encourage you to watch once this broadcast is over, which is in the next 15 to 30 minutes or so, depending on if Manitou forces a third game. But in a nutshell, you harvest your wheat, you deliver the grain to the silo to increase your multiplier. The multiplier affects how many points you score per bale, input via the conveyor belt into the upper part of your barn. And both teams, it's 3v3. They have the reverse mirrored images of the same map, so same amount of crop, and everything is identical except being flipped. And speaking of flip, right on cue, Jannis brought the telehandler up to flip the Vultra back over. So now the telehandler is way up this hill, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, it's horribly out of place. That is going to cost MYINSANITY time.
Hello, Sean on Facebook. Thank you, everyone on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube for tuning in today. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you this broadcast over the weekend. Virtual Farmer alongside with me. I'm Kermit. You can call him Alex as well. You can call me Kerm or Kerminator if you want. Community coordinator for Giant Software out of our office in the US. And Alex here with me. You might catch him streaming some early access to Farming Simulator 22 on Friday. Might is not the right word there. Because you definitely will if you know where to find him.
Yeah. I was gonna say if you come looking for me on Friday, I will be streaming it somewhere. I'm actually
8-minute drop coming up. If this is
some on Facebook,
and unfortunately for Manitou, no grain multipliers, so the gamble hasn't paid off, but it's one they really had to take. Homer has gone with speed up for the perk instead. In fact, I don't know if it was Homer, but someone from Manitou has picked that up. So unfortunately for Manitou, didn't work out as well as it could have. But they still have a massive amount of grain to input. And the good news is that in that time they spent waiting, MYINSANITY did not score any bales. So they've not taken advantage. Dennis is on his way to the silo with the ideal harvester now. So bringing even more grain in for Manitou. So Dennis and Homer both are there. And if they can also get some bales towards the barn real quick and score them, they're going to get some good extra points.
Those harvesters both look full. So,
yeah, so
Manitou are absolutely using the ideals to their fullest
they have
for here. And that is going to give them extra extra grain. And
they
they're
have a couple extra thousands worth of grain here overall. So it will definitely help, as you said, Alex. And there goes MYINSANITY with some bales. If he chucks these into the top, they're going to miss out on some points here. They might want to wait, and he's actually pumping the brakes now. He's thought better about it because and now that he's put him down, though, the multiplier has gone into their favor. That was just all about the timing, just missing by a few seconds.
Should have loaded. He so should have loaded those onto that conveyor as soon as he got there.
It's a 2.5 to 1.5. But we're just waiting on Manitou to get the grain out of the harvesters into the auger wagon now, and it'll flip back. So, yeah, definitely a missed opportunity for MYINSANITY to score some extra points there. We're on the Farming Simulator page and the Farming Simulator League Esports channel on Facebook. Dazzles. Now he's going to go for it, and he's starting to nail it
And
now. But only 19 points. He could have gotten 24 with those two earlier. Big missed opportunity.
This is what I was talking about earlier, though. They've got those two ideal combines, Manitou. They filled both of them up and emptied both of them at that 8-minute mark, and that has given them an advantage.
Yep, they have the advantage of if you take them there. Who was it that was earlier today was using two ideals, but then they weren't taking the cart in, and so you're only taking in 30,000 still. But if you take the harvesters to the silo, you can empty the entirety of their tanks, and you're going to have at least a couple thousand extra grain advantage over someone that's using even one ideal and a different harvester with a smaller tank. So it's enough to give you that 2.1 to 1.9, which you're going to score 2 extra points per bale over your opponent. That can add up over multiple bales, big time.
Drop me that message, Richard, and I'll plonk that in the ambassador's feedback bit.
Yeah, thank you. It's a good question, Richard.
It is.
I am off tomorrow, so if someone else doesn't have the answer, it might be a little bit delayed. And if I don't get it within the next week, you'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
Because if you tune into VF stream here on Friday, he'll be able to get the answer for you then too, if he doesn't know the answer by then. All right, Bale Withering is the super drop. And for both teams, it's 1 bale. I don't know if either team has the time to devote to going out to this. It's kind of far away. And really the focus right now should be on scoring the bales they have. And speaking of, here comes Lars in with a full Anderson loader for PB to load up onto the belt.
It's about, taking the points into consideration, it's about a 3-bale advantage to Manitou at the moment. So this is all about, can Manitou get all of these bales back, and can they load them in as well? They do, we're going to go to a 3rd game.
3 minutes to decide it. Either MYINSANITY or into the quarterfinals, or the final spot in the quarterfinals goes to a 3rd game, and that would be befitting of this group, really, if it does.
That really would.
Manitou are in a good position with the bale advantage, with the multiplier advantage, but they're currently trailing, so they have to make up the ground at the moment. A mistake now, bales falling off the top at the wrong moment, costing your team crucial seconds, could really flip this one way or the other. PB doing a nice job with the Massey telehandler, loading these bales up. We're going to see... Oh, Dennis catching some air coming in there with the Anderson loader. Now we're back and looking at Manitou at the barn here. Closing that gap a little bit. It's under 100 points now. 2 minutes to go. Plenty of time for Manitou to do this. They need to not lose their nerve. Homer just needs to keep on stacking.
This is the thing where MYINSANITY do not have bales at their barn. They need those to come in. Whereas
yeah, they're already at a disadvantage. They need to score every single one. Manitou, meanwhile, out getting the Anderson loader pretty close to full. I think that they'll just go ahead and bring those in, will Dennis. There's one more ahead of him here that'll grab on the way. Now MYINSANITY's come in. That's 8 of the 9 outstanding for MYINSANITY at this point. So most of their bales are in. The other one might be coming in directly on the back of the baler. Here we go now. PB for MYINSANITY, who still hold a slender lead with just over a minute remaining. That lead's going to extend momentarily. Manitou have to score these bales. ProdaxCH looks like he's going to put this one in the bottom. And with under a minute to go, that's a lot of bales still to get on the belt.
They got enough time to get the rest of those in.
Yeah, they're going to have to put some of those in the bottom.
MYINSANITY.
But also at the same time, Homer needs really to get these all in via the top to maximize that point advantage. I don't think he can get all 6 of them in. We'll see. There's still 3 stacks of 2 sitting there.
This is so close. Yeah.
One more bale on the back of this.
This needs to go in the top.
703 to 650. MYINSANITY lead. If they win, they're through.
Bales there are the bales here for Homer.
Homer has time, but is that one going to fall off? Will all 4 of those make it? He's going to put those in the bottom.
732, 712, 742, 733.
MANITOU aren't going to do it.
752.
They couldn't get them all into the top. It's not enough.
Is there anything?
That's it.
No.
MYINSANITY through to the quarterfinals. Wow. Really well done. Well done, MYINSANITY. What a close one. That was a great way to wrap up the weekend. Fantastic stuff.
And you were right. It's purely MANITOU not delivering all their bales. Not a single bale left out for MYINSANITY. 2 left out for MANITOU.